Peeps, welcome back. So today we're going to be going over the grayscale trusts. So with that being said, let's get it. All right, so first thing I want to do here is give a shout out to Sarah PPK or Sarap PK. Sorry if I butchered that. I'm not sure how to say your name. For the $2 super thanks. Thank you for that, for supporting us, for supporting this channel. To answer your question, what are the odds that we can get a video update on the work situation? To be completely honest, at this point, there's probably not going to be an update. Again, still need to work out some kinks, take some time to recover from the situation, and also seriously consider whether a police report is going to be filed for that. So as of right now, that is a no-go. So anyways, the other thing I wanted to point out here, I'm actually not even sure if it's going to show up in these comments, but let's see if I can pull one up. So, okay, so there's nothing showing up here in the comment section because I'm pretty sure we removed most of them, but guys, we have no idea, no idea what Revox is, okay? I don't know what that project is. We're not associated with that project in any way, shape, or form. Pretty sure it's a scam. Be careful. Don't trust anybody on the internet that you don't know that's trying to sell you some pitch, okay? We're not going to sell you pitch. We're not going to try to get you to buy into some scam token or something like that. We are in no way, shape, or form affiliated with whatever that is, okay? Never even heard of the project. So let's go ahead and look at the portfolio here. As you guys can see, still have ETCG, still have HZEN, although it's very small, obviously. Still have Mana, and Mana actually had a pretty massive move up today, which is definitely fantastic. On the potential approval of the spot ETF for Ether, we are expecting ETCG to moonshot, so we're going to continue to hold that one. How high it's going to go, I don't know. But if it's anything like Bitcoin, and we saw Bitcoin shoot past all-time highs once the spot Bitcoin ETFs got approved, probably going to do the same thing. And we're also still going to hold our spot Ether for potentially like a 5x, 4x, something like that. Which our cost basis on the actual Ethereum is like 3,000. So, 12,000, 15,000. I definitely think that's a possibility. Bitcoin hit hit new all-time highs before its due time. So I suspect once the Ether ETF gets approved, Ethereum's probably going to do something similar. So LTCN looking very bullish. We are above the EMAs here. Again, the first target is going to be here up here between $50 to $55. That's right around this control bar up here, as you guys can see. Above and beyond that, we're looking at roughly about $75. So that's right in this area where these huge candle wicks are, which again makes perfect sense. And 100 to roughly about $135 would be the next point that we'd be looking at here. So there's a risk of a MACD death cross, but I don't think it's really all that imminent, if I'm being completely honest. I do still stick to my theory that I think LTCN and BCHG are going to lag behind the other trusts, meaning the other trusts are going to basically start moving at first, and then we'll see LTCN and BCHG follow sometime after that. So on the daily, LTCN does still look very good. So we have a golden cross on the MACD, golden cross on the RSI. Break the trend line, bounce off of support. We do have a close and follow-up candle above the EMAs here, as you can see, close, and then a follow-up green candle. And we're about to get a potential triple golden cross here. So all of that's very bullish. And again, there's no definitive time frame on how long it takes this to play out. It could be a couple of weeks, could be a couple of months. We just don't know. The last one was roughly about 5 weeks to the top, as you guys can see. So again, from the current area to the swing high is about 71%. From the zone to the swing high is going to be about 121%. So BCHG, same thing, looking very similar to LTCN. We have our breakout candle, and we're looking for confirmation this week. So on the daily time frame, I wouldn't really call this a confirmation candle. So we have our breakout here, and then we still have yet to get a green candle above this one. That would be the confirmation candle. Ideally, the confirmation candle comes immediately after the breakout candle. It's usually one green candle and then a second green candle. It's not like a green, red, red, green, red, red, something, and then a big green one. It's usually not like that. So we'll just kind of have to keep an eye out on this one. But everything else does look pretty bullish. So MACD bullish, RSI bullish, histogram turning green, break of the trend line, bounce off support. It's above the EMAs. Everything looks really good here as far as I'm concerned. And again, same thing like LTCN, except this happened twice on BCHG. Before and after the breakout of the trend line, we did have 5 weeks of green. So we'll see if that plays out again. Again, support is between $10 to $12.50-ish. Resistance $18 to about 20, and then 24 on the peak up there. So from the current price to the peak, it's going to be about a 70% move. And from the, we'll just say the trend line here to the peak is going to be roughly about 122% move. So HZEN, this one's starting to look very bullish. We have had a, well, not exactly a bullish candle breakout on the weekly, but as you guys can see, we have had one on the daily here. This would be our confirmation candle right here, this big, juicy green candle. And again, golden cross on the RSI and the MACD. Bounce off the trend line, or bounce off of the support, break out of the trend line, close above the EMAs. EMAs are crossing up. That's all very bullish. So ideally this week closes green, and then we kind of get a push into the resistance up here. We'll just have to wait and see how that goes. But as of right now, support's going to be around $5. Resistance $7 to $8. The swing high up here at $10.50. So if I do the measure move from the current price to the swing high is about 70%, and then from the trend line to the swing high is going to be about 121% move. So pretty big moves there, pretty much equivalent to about what BCHG and LTCN are expected to do. So ETCG, this one has broken out of the channel bullish and also out of the EMAs here. So that's to be expected with the Ethereum spot Ether ETF news. Like I told you guys before, ETC or ETH Classic is going to be an oscillator to Ethereum. So the grayscale trusts are going to pretty much operate in tandem with that. So again, if Ethereum moonshots, ETH Classic is going to moonshot because, you know, they're oscillators to each other. So as of right now, support's going to be ranging between 13 to 1580. I would say that's a pretty good support range in my opinion. Because my guess is up until the approval of the ETH, the price of Ether and anything Ether related is going to go to the moon. And then we'll have a slight pullback as it gets approved, and then we'll moonshot after that, just like with Bitcoin. So resistance $17.70 to $20, as you guys can see up there. So from current price to the resistance up here top, 37% move. And then from the bottom of this support to the top of resistance, roughly about 54% move. So ETHE, again, very clear example of the spot Ether ETF news and what it's doing. You can see ETCG is lagging a little bit behind, but it is actually following ETH's momentum. So very clear breakout of the channel. At this point, it is looking likely that we're going to have this cup and handle pattern play out. About to get a golden cross here on the MACD. That's also very bullish. Again, the cup and handle target's up at $54. So just to go from the current price to the cup and handle target, just so y'all know, is another 65% move. Let's say this thing does pull back down into the trend line. That's going to be about $25. And then the top of the support here is 29. Your resistance is 40.80 to 47.5. But let's just say it pulls back down here and goes all the way up to the cup and handle pattern. Target, you'd be looking at about 120% move. So FILG had some weird thing going on this morning. It was up 600%, but the price was $100. So I don't know if that was a glitch or what was going on. Maybe I don't know if I'm the only one that saw that, but if I'm not, let me know in the comments below. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay, so breakout candle here. We're looking for a bullish confirmation candle, which it looks like we might get it this week. Jesus. Okay, so the bottom of this trend line is going to be roughly about support, which as of right now is going to sit at roughly around $38. It could bottom out at this red EMA at about 90. I would be wanting to get in closer to 38 or just simply miss the opportunity. That's just me. So the swing high is roughly about $400, as you guys can see. So from the current price to the swing high would be about a 243% move, and from the trend line to the swing high would be way bigger. It'd be about 927% move. So GBAT, this one's still looking very bullish. This does look like it's going to form into a green candle. This is what's known as a hammer candle. It's not so obvious because it's kind of a doji, but I'm willing to bet that tomorrow likely this thing is going to go back up. It just simply looks like it. So we have our breakout candle here, confirmation candle here. Ideally, if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of green, we should still see at least 2 more weeks of green. So we'll just have to keep an eye out on that. But as of right now, this support pretty much is still going to be, the support zone is still going to be the buy zone here. So that's pretty much between $7.50 to about $10. And then the swing high up here is 32. So from the support zone to the swing high, about 291% move. And then from the current price to the swing high is going to be about a 91% move. So that's actually still pretty good. Again, when we do a swing trade on stocks, we only look for 15% on one trade. So this is actually like multiples of that, like 5 to 10x that. So GLIV, it's really hard to see, but we do have our breakout candle right here. This little kind of pathetic looking flat doji candle that's slightly green here. That is the breakout candle. Although it's debatable because the price is still below the EMAs, but we'll just say it's the breakout candle as of right now. If I go down a little bit into the time frames, you can see it's a little bit more bullish. So golden crosses, and then we kind of have our breakout candle right here. So this hammer candle, which again, the price is kind of choppy, but potentially an early sign of a more upward movement to come. So it wouldn't surprise me if it kind of chopped like this, like it did previously. You can see it's kind of doing something similar here, and then just bang straight up all of a sudden out of nowhere, just 1 week where it just like doubles in price or triples in price. That would not shock me at all. So the trend line right around this red EMA is going to serve as support. So that's about $22 as of right now. The swing high is about $80. So roughly about 4x on your money. So from the current price to the swing high, or I should say the all-time high in this case, about 188% move. And then from the trend line to the swing high, about 300. We'll just call it about 300%. I mean, that's still going to be a great return on your money. If you can manage to time those 2 points exactly, which of course there's no guarantee that they're going to play out like that, but time will tell, right? So current support as of right now, I would probably say is going to be along this trend line, but we don't have a confirmation close on the weekly yet. So I still say it's between 85 to 65. The swing high up here is going to be 220, which is actually also the all-time high. And from the current price to the all-time high up here is 82%. And from about the bottom of this channel to the swing high is going to be about 235%. If I go down to the daily time frame, you guys can see similar story to the other ones. We have a golden cross back here. That's when the price started moving up. As of yesterday, we have our confirmation candle here on the daily. And it is a little bit hard to see. Like I really got to zoom in here to show you this. That's how small it is. But you can see this candle did actually close above this one, even though it's pretty low volume. So that is technically a follow-up candle, although it's not really the kind of candle I would want to see. But again, we have a break of the trend line. It's above the EMAs. All the indicators are pointing up, and we have golden crosses on all of them. So just simply got to roll with it. I mean, it looks pretty bullish as far as I'm concerned at this point. Just need to get that weekly confirmation on G-Link. So this trend line down here, this white one, I would say is going to be your support here. So that's currently at about 350. The swing high is going to be up here at 580. And this is on GSOL, the Solana Grayscale Trust. So breakout candle, confirmation candle, it's above the EMAs. It broke the trend line. That's the breakout signal we're looking for there. This is exactly how we do it if we were doing a swing trade, except we would wait for a golden cross first and then a retest of the EMAs, and then boom, we would take our trade and ride it all the way up. So golden cross on the MACD, golden cross on the RSI. And just so y'all know, if we were going to charge you for money on teaching the course on how we used to swing trade, we wouldn't just simply come out and be like, hey, this is how we do it. We literally just told you how we swing trade stocks at no cost. So yeah, anyways, as far as I'm concerned, GSOL does look very bullish right now. We just need to see a confirmation close above this green line right here, and then we'll be good to go. So if I were to measure this from this trend line to the swing high, it's still going to be a 64% move, which is still not bad. I mean, that's equivalent to 4 swing trades. This would be equivalent to 2, about 32%. I do still want to point out the risk here that if this thing is a fake out and it slams to the downside, which is absolutely possible, that does happen in trading and investing, the downside potential here is 61%. So in my opinion, this is a high risk trade, high risk investing point, but you guys can do with that what you want. So GXLM, break of the trend line, looking very good on the weekly. This is a very, very large green candle, so that's definitely a good sign for the Stellar Lumens Trust. And yes, we do know what Stellar Lumens is. We actually used to have the actual native cryptocurrency Stellar Lumens XLM in the previous bull run. So breakout candle, break of the trend line, confirmation candle, slight rejection on the EMAs here. We probably want to see at least one more green candle to close above these EMAs to basically be sure it's going to push into this resistance zone here. But everything on the charts outside of that looks good as far as I'm concerned. So as of right now, this bottom trend line right here at the very bottom, this one, you guys can see I'm pointing to, this is going to be the support. So that's roughly about $30.50. The swing high all the way up here is at 70. You could take it at resistance. That's entirely up to you. That's going to be 53 to about 58, and that is 73 to about 90% move. But all the way up to the wick high up here is going to be about 125% gain. So mana, this one we actually hold. Again, told you guys that this was pretty much coming on the apex and we were expecting an explosive move one way or another. Well, it looks like we're starting to get it. Because this thing was just getting trapped in between these lines, and usually that's what's known as a coiling of a move. The more it coils, the longer into the coiling or into the lines it gets before it explodes, usually the bigger the move, okay? The deeper it gets into this thing, the bigger the move. That's usually how it goes. And usually when these things do coil and break out, they only go about 75% of the way. They don't usually go all the way to the end like this. So that's pretty rare to see. I actually cannot even tell you guys the last time I saw that. So golden cross on the MACD, golden cross on the RSI. Still have to get a golden cross on the EMAs here. We're not necessarily looking for a triple golden cross. If the blue gets above the yellow, that's usually the signal that we take for a swing trade. Not financial advice. It's just how we do it. You guys come up with your own strategies, okay? But so we have this green candle. I would actually say that this one right here is actually the confirmation candle, but it kind of slid down. So we'll use this one as confirmation. And then this one, or I should say the breakout candle. And then this one right here is a confirmation candle. The only kicker here is that, again, we got a rejection off the EMAs. So definitely want to see another candle close tomorrow above the EMAs on the daily time frame. All right, so as of right now, still going to go with the support being roughly the support zone, pretty much being support as of right now. So that's going to be about $17 to $20. The all-time high up here, as you guys can see, is way up there at $70. Now, I want you guys to understand something. If price goes back up to the swing high, I'm not expecting a massive wick rejection like this. What I would like to see is a big green candle close either right around the top of this wick or even slightly above or below the wick. If there's a big, strong, fat green candle body close anywhere in that area, I suspect the following candle is going to be the big breakout, and that's going to push us to price discovery. That's usually how it works in trading. I suspect it's not going to be any different here, okay? So just keep a lookout for that. But as of right now, the current price to the swing high is going to be 165% move, and then we'll just go from basically the top of the red EMA there, which is also support, to the swing high, about 242% move. So Zcash, sellers still trying to hold this thing down, as you guys can see here, or profit takers, not really sure which, but no huge explosive move like this right here. So we'll dig in a little bit more. As you guys can see, golden cross on the RSI and the MACD. Histogram is green. Breakout candle, confirmation candle right here. Although there's some hesitancy that worries me a little bit, but I would say, and we also do have a triple golden cross. I almost didn't see this, but you guys can see all the EMAs have crossed over each other at this point, so that is also very bullish. So literally everything looks good on the daily time frame. We just need to see this candle close green above this trend line, and we're good to go. And this thing should be heading into either this previous resistance or perhaps even above this wick high up here to at 10.25 to higher highs all the way up here. Okay, so the trend line is going to serve as support. That's going to be roughly about $5.30. Swing high up here is 10.25, and resistance is $8 to about $9.60 or so, as you guys can see. So from the current price to the swing high, you'd be looking at about 77% move. Excuse me. And from the, if I can get it here, from roughly about the trend line to the swing high up here, you guys can see it'd still be about a 91% move. So not quite double your money, but still pretty good. I mean, I don't think most traders in the world would ever complain about a 90% gain in a single trade. So do with that what you will. I do want to point out, however, on Zcash that this thing is heavily undervalued. Zcash, the actual Zcash token from the current price to the previous all-time high it made in the previous cycle, which is not actually the all-time high, but it was like around $300, is a 12x from the current price on the native cryptocurrencies. So there's still a lot of potential in this one, in my opinion. I think it's heavily undervalued. So from the current price to the high up here is still roughly about a 6.5x. Anyways, hope y'all enjoyed this content. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.